Hi, my name's Trevor. In my job as a physiotherapist, I see a lot of problems associated with poor posture relating to neck pain and back pain. Did you know that decreasing your sitting time is actually as important as getting 30 minutes of exercise a day? And not only will help to improve your chances of not getting back pain and neck pain, but also would reduce the risk of getting heart disease and diabetes. If we think about our sitting posture, when we sit for long periods, what happens is we get very tight in the hip flexors. So if you imagine my t-shirt is my hip flexors, if I'm doing this for up to 8 hours a day, the tissue there is just getting really, really tight. So what happens is when I go to stand up, that tissue remains tight. You can see what it will do to my lower back. It puts a lot of strain on my lower back, and that is one of the main reasons why I see a lot of back pain in my practice. A really simple tip or an exercise that you can do throughout your day is just to stretch the hip flexors, and a really simple way to do that is what I call a lunge matrix. You can use your chair in your workspace. Now, it's really important here that when you do this exercise, you just go within your limits, and obviously if anything hurts or feels uncomfortable, then obviously just back off the exercise. So what I'm doing here is I'm propping up on my chair. I'm going into a lunge position, front knee bent at about 90 degrees, back knee onto the ball of the foot. Now, what's important here is not to arch through the lower back here. So if you can see what my lower back is doing there, I don't want that to happen. What I do want to happen is for my hips to tuck under in the exercise. And you'll know that you're doing that correctly. One, if you're not feeling any pain in your lower back. And two, if you actually start to feel a stretch in the front of your hip. The chair here acts as a prop, and you can actually start to push slightly back. Watch that you're not arching again in the lower back. And it's important to breathe as well. From there, you step back, shoulder width apart, and repeat other side. Lunge, tuck the hips under, push back on the chair. Stepping back up, lunge, tuck the hips under, push back on the chair, stepping up. Now, it's important to keep moving through this stretch as opposed to a static stretch, because what we now know about the connective tissue at the front of the hip is that it's like a tight band. So a tight band responds a lot better to a dynamic movement rather than a sustained slow stretch. So this stretch is what we call a mobilizer, and it's constantly moving, and that actually will help to release the tension at the front of your hip. So once again, propping on the chair, lunging back, tuck the hips under, feel the stretch in the front of the hip, and change legs. Tuck the hips under, feel the stretch in the front of the hip, and stepping up. Now, it's important, you could do about 10 repetitions on each side, or just as much time as you have. So even doing that for about 2 minutes each day will really help reduce the risk of you developing lower back pain, will help to stretch out the front of your hips, and create a healthier you. If you'd like to learn more about this and more healthy tips, please follow the websites below. Thanks for watching.